Am I the a-hole? Cooking Edition. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for calling my wife unreasonable for backing out of spending Christmas with my family after my mother rejected her cookie sample? Every holiday, my mother asks the women in the family, my sisters, sister-in-law, my wife, my female cousins, to send samples of the desserts they plan to bring to the celebration for testing and to see if these desserts can make it into the food menu. My wife has been complaining about my mother deliberately rejecting every dessert sample she sends. My mother has told her many times that she's being honest and keeping the guest's best interest at heart. Yet my wife still thinks that my mother is deliberately excluding her since 2 of her dessert samples were rejected before. For this year's Christmas, my mother is doing the same thing, but this time, she told every woman who is participating to make a cookie sample and send it to her for testing. My wife took it as a challenge and worked really hard to make a good sample and then sent it to my mother days ago. The results just came in yesterday. I came home from work and found my wife upset. I asked what's wrong, and she told me that my mother rejected the sample she sent and decided to exclude her baking from the food menu for Christmas this year. I didn't know what to say, but she then told me she was backing out of the invitation to attend Christmas with my family. I was stunned. I tried to talk to her, but she said it was done. I called her unreasonable to decide to bail on the whole family over some cookie sample. That's just freaking crazy. We had a full-on argument about it, and she stated that my mother caused this, but I told her that my mother is pretty serious and careful about the food she offers the guests since we're going to have relatives coming from all sides of the country. She told me to stop mentioning it. Later, I heard her cry despite telling her that her baking is amazing and people have preferences. That's all. Am I the a-hole for insisting that her decision was unreasonable? Top comments. Comment 1. Mom must be absurdly wealthy to be tolerated so long for this assholery. Good for your wife. Bad for you. You're the a-hole. Comment 2. Holidays meals are about sharing and togetherness, not channeling your inner jailhouse Martha Stewart or prison warden over making the perfect spread. Your house is not a restaurant. Food doesn't have to be perfect. You're the a-hole. Comment 3. Your wife should invite Gordon Ramsay to the Christmas dinner and have him evaluate your mom's cooking. Have him spit out his food on the plate and then call her an idiot sandwich. You're the a-hole. Update. Great. So I just got off the phone with my brother, and he told me that his wife, whose cookie also got rejected, is doing the same thing as my wife, and that she has decided to back out of the invitation to spend Christmas with family. My wife must have told her about her decision, and she decided to follow her lead. My brother is pissed, saying my wife is encouraging his wife to do this. I see that the problem has just gotten bigger now. Who knows, my younger sister might join in and decide not to go as well. I don't know how this got out of control so quickly. I guess we'll try to have a discussion with my mother about this soon and see how it goes. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for no longer letting boyfriend eat what I cook after he rated my food in front of my family? My boyfriend Jerry has a culinary art diploma. He works 2 jobs related to his field. One as a chef in a restaurant and another as a cooking instructor. We've been dating for almost 16 months. I had no real experience in cooking, but he encouraged me to learn and help my skills improve so much, even though he has a habit of rating every meal I cook, which I find a bit rude. For example, X meal gets 7 out of 10, or Y meal gets 8, 3/10, or even Z meal would have got 9 out of 10 if the sauce wasn't so salty, etc. I didn't feel great with him rating my food, no matter the score, but he says he's helping me improve, so I've allowed it until now. My family came over to visit, and I wanted to cook their favorite meal. Jerry sat with my parents and chatted till food was ready. He started eating and kept making comments about my choice of meals. Once he put his fork down, he cleared his throat and literally started rating every dish I made by giving me 7 out of 10 for this, 4 out of 10 for this, and 6 out of 10 for this. My family was so confused and I was floored. I felt awful as he kept giving advice on how to improve my score next time. He kept a straight face while doing it. It was awkward the entire evening. We had a huge argument after my family left, and I told Jerry that he acted poorly and embarrassed me when he started rating my food in front of family. I said to him that I won't have him eat what I cook anymore. He said I was overreacting and claimed what he was doing is just constructive criticism and I shouldn't take it personally since he's just used to rating his students' work. I said I wasn't his damn student and he wasn't Gordon Ramsay to be heavily putting my efforts down in front of family. He got offended and said my reaction was way over the top since he was just giving constructive criticism in order for me to make progress, and said he was trying to help and that the Gordon Ramsay comment was totally uncalled for and just a low blow to his abilities as a respectable chef with a respectable career. He then asked what made me think it was okay to come at him like that over few ratings. He stated he was hurt and when to stay with a friend for the night, probably expecting an apology from me. Am I the a-hole? Top comments. Comment 1. Not the a-hole. Rate him every time you do the deed. Let's see how he likes it. Comment 2. Not the a-hole. Congrats. After 16 months, you have learned that your boyfriend is an asshat. I love it when people think they are being helpful by giving unsolicited criticism and are clueless on how arrogant that is. Comment 3. Not the a-hole. What a weirdo. You need to kick his food rating ass out the door. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for being mad my boyfriend won't make noodles the way I like? Okay, this sounds dumb, but hear me out. I've always been a picky eater, especially when it comes to tomatoes. Ever since I was a kid, my dad would make my spaghetti different from the rest of the house. I like having an essence of the sauce flavor on the noodles, but not the overpowering flavor, having noodles bathed in sauce. So, here's where it gets a bit odd. My dad would separate my spaghetti from the rest after putting the sauce on, and then would rinse the sauce off in the sink with a strainer. I love noodles like this, with a nice subtle tomato vibe. My boyfriend has known about this since we first started dating. He always told me my food habits were cute. We have been dating for almost 3 years now and moved in together at the beginning of the pandemic, so we could be in lockdown together. Ever since we moved in, he insisted on taking charge of cooking and all cooking-related tasks, dishes, grocery shopping, etc., and he assigned me the role of cleaning the bulk of the apartment. We split other tasks pretty much 50 to 52. Everything was perfect, and he always seemed to be making noodles the way I liked them when we had them. This was until last week, when we last had spaghetti. We ate, and everything was good, but afterwards he started teasing me, saying things like, "You really like your pasta with an essence of tomato, and how is your tomato essence, babe?" Always using finger quotes around the word essence. After a few comments, I felt something was off and asked him if he had done anything differently with tonight's noodles than he usually does, and he started laughing. When he finally stopped laughing, he told me the whole truth while smirking. He said, "I didn't do anything different than I usually do. I've never made it the way you requested." Apparently, the entire time we've been living together, he's just been skipping the pasta sauce on my noodles entirely. He claimed that if I didn't notice for this long, then it shouldn't matter that he is making dinner in a way that is easier for him. I disagree entirely. I think the lying was a huge breach of trust, and so was the refusal to make dinner how I wanted. I have admittedly been acting passive-aggressively to him since, but he thinks he did nothing wrong, that I'm overreacting, and that I need to let it go. So, am I the a-hole? Top comments. Comment 1. Everyone sucks here. You both sound dreadful, to be honest. Comment 2. Tomato vibes might go down as one of the most privileged and dumb things I've ever read. Everyone sucks here. Comment 3. Extra effort to rinse your noodles? Also, why don't you just rinse your own noodles? It's your food and your preference. I think you're just pissy because you're feeling dumb that you didn't know he wasn't putting sauce on them at all. If you never had a problem with it all this time, then why does it matter? And why should he put in extra effort? You're the a-hole for making a big deal out of nothing. Update. My boyfriend found the post and is not happy. I'm debating pouring the sauce directly down the drain to spite him. Now, some things I found out in the argument. First, he is not a pharmacist like he always told me. He just works at CVS. Second, he has actually cheated on me multiple times with other girls that go to my college. And lastly, and worst of all, he has never actually been allergic to dogs. He just doesn't like them. Update 2. So a lot has happened since this morning. You all may be happy to hear we broke up. We had a huge blow-up fight since he found the post, which led to me breaking up with him. He did not like being called a predator, and I started to think your comments had a point about that, so I ended up breaking up with him. He attempted to plead with me a bit. My parents pay our rent, so he can't afford the place without me, but I wouldn't budge. He is gone for good. What did you think of these Reddit stories? Do you agree with the readers' verdicts? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We publish stories with new topics multiple times a week. From Reddit Stories Bonanza, we wish you an amazing week.